Alright, what's going on, guys? So, you are here to see an LED headlight install on my BMW S1000R. So, I've already done this on my 2005 Kawasaki Ninja 636 card right here, if you want to go watch that video. So you'll see an installation on an actual sport bike. This is more of a super naked bike, so there's not a whole lot of fairings to deal with up here in the front, which is good and can be bad because there's no real place for me to put all of the stuff for the LED light. So that's where this video is going to get kind of interesting. But what have I done so far to this bike? I did a full exhaust system, integrated tail lights, fender eliminator, got rid of the mirrors and got a bar in, and I put a power commander. Now, other than the things that I've changed, I really have no gripes about this bike. But where I live now, there's not a whole lot of lighting. I live out in the middle of nowhere, about 20 miles off the highway. So whenever I'm coming home from work at night or leaving early in the morning, there are no streetlights anywhere near me. So the first thing I noticed was how terrible these headlights are. They're absolutely horrible. And for whatever reason, BMW put a little piece of technology in here, which every time I turn on my high beam, it kills my low beam after 2 seconds. So I don't even have the option of riding with my high beams on. So I was planning on putting in these headlights. I was looking around, and then luckily a company called Nocturnal Designs decided to shoot me an email and see if I would like to do a review on their LED headlights. So of course I was like, absolutely. So talked to those guys for a little bit, told them the specific size bulbs that I needed. They shipped them out, and they also sent me out a set of headlights for my 2013 Honda CR-V. I've had those running for a while, and I can tell you that the output is exponentially better than the stock halogen bulbs on the CR-V, and I have no doubt that it will be exactly the same case for this bike, as the halogen bulbs are garbage. Now, here are the bulbs that I will be installing. Now, my bike is weird, and I have one 9005 LED bulb and then one H7 bulb, which is pretty standard bulb size for really any motorcycle. It's the same exact size bulb that I use in my Honda CR-V, as well as the Honda Grom that I have. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what is in the box. Alright, so as you can see, what's in the box is pretty straightforward. You have your bulb, which will connect onto your ballast. Pretty sure they call it something different with the LED bulbs, but that's what I'm going to call it for the sake of the video. And it's pretty straightforward. And then they also include a couple of zip ties, a couple of sticky mounts that you can use to actually mount your ballast. And they also included a pair of latex gloves, so you don't get grease all over the LED, the light emitting diode. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's straight up plug and play. You're not going to have to wire up anything. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. You replace, you pop off your headlights, pop off your halogen bulbs, put these in, they fit right in. And then the cool part that I like about these is once you get these in, you can actually turn them. They will actually rotate inside so you can get it exactly where you would like it to sit. So once it locks in, you can twist this and adjust exactly where that's going to sit, which is nice. Because obviously with a normal halogen bulb, the entire thing is actually emitting light, but with the LED, it's just going to have on each side that little diode that's going to emit the light. So once you lock it on, you can actually twist it and get it to exactly where you want it to be, which is good. And that's exactly how it was in the CR-V. Took it out, twisted them around a little bit, get them to where I needed to be for the correct output, and then you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and take the front end of the bike apart and yeah, try and put these things in. So let's get to it. Alright, so now that I got this exposed, like trying to get this fucking bulb out, these two little clips here on the side, fucking Christ, the clips won't get out of the goddamn way. Okay, got it unplugged. Now I just need to pull the bulb out. All right, so here's the stock halogen bulb right here. Replacement. So as you can see, it's got this big fan off the back. Now the issue with the fan is that dust cover that I took off right here is not going to fit once you replace this. So what I did on my old bike was I took a hole saw. I kind of measured how much I needed, and then I just put a hole through. That way I could still put this on, but it would fit through the back of this dust cover. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just kind of plug it in and make sure that it fires up and it works, because I don't have a drill right now. So that's a slight issue. My buddy does next door, but he is not home right now. So, oh, by the way, this was made in Slovakia. So right now I'm basically just going to plug everything in without putting it inside of the bike and turn on the key and make sure that the light actually comes on. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do now. Alright, so like I said, it's all plug and play. You have your LED bulb, you have your little ballast, and then this, they're just gonna plug in, line them up, plug in just like that, and then you have this little sealer. You're literally just going to screw it right on so it creates a seal on that connection and nothing can get in there. And then from there, bulb goes in, you find somewhere to hide this little guy, and this plugs into where the back of your halogen bulb originally plugged in. So take this, here's your connection right here, plug her in, and then there you go. God, that was bright as shit. It also sucks that I can't just turn the key on the bike and it'll light it up, but there you go. One thing I also need to change is the little marker light that you can see on now. It's gonna look really weird with that on. Whenever this is off, because it's going to be a nice bright white and then an ugly yellow, but we can do that later. So let's see if we can actually maneuver this thing in here. Problems in paradise. So there is absolutely no way that I'm going to be able to get that bulb inside of here without taking off the entire front end. So this is actually how I did it on the Cowie. The only difference is the Cowie is a very simple machine to work on. It's pretty straightforward, and I've taken that bike apart a million times. This one still gives me the heebie-jeebies, but I don't really have a choice. This is what I have to do. I got to take off the front end, and I'm not really sure what I have to take off to accomplish that, but we're going to do it. So I hope you enjoy me taking off the front end of this bike. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it way more than I will. But do it for the tube, right? Do it for the tube! Let's do it. Fuck. So we're pretty much done with removing the front end of the entire bike. So once I get this off, we'll switch over to the table, we'll install these lights and keep our freaking fingers crossed everything works. Alright, so it's pretty straightforward, popping out the bulbs and then putting these LEDs in. The main thing's going to be once I go to refit the headlight housing back onto the bike. That's where it can get tricky because obviously, like you saw in the beginning of the video, I don't have a lot of room. So we're going to try and find somewhere to tuck the ballasts, but with all these extra wires, it's going to get interesting. But first, I'm going to rehook everything up just to make sure that everything's firing up and that we're getting the light that we need. And then, yeah, hopefully we can start putting everything back together. Alright, so now that we have everything plugged back in, when we turn on the bike, you're just going to get this ugly halogen looking little marker light, and then nothing really turns on until you actually fire up the bike. So it's going to get a little loud, but we're going to fire it up and see if it works. It works! So now we have to figure out how the fuck to get this thing back on. But yeah, we made progress. Alright, a quick test before we put the front cowl back on. Parking light. I'll take that. I'll take that. Alright, so I was worried about where I was going to place the little ballast here, but luckily I had way more space in here than I thought. This is actually it right here. I don't know if you can really see that, but obviously the LEDs right here, ballast up here, and it's tucked away. I have it zip tied to a couple different things, so it's pretty out of the way. Luckily, my entire headlight assembly is attached to the fork, so it turns with it, so you don't have to worry about it kinking on anything whenever you turn the bars. But I think we're pretty good with this up here. So now we just got to do the other side, and hope we have as much room as we do on this side. Alright, you can see right there, I just took the ballast and zip tied it to the line that actually comes out through the front of the headlight unit and into the back of the gauge cluster. Like I said, I don't see how I could have any problems with that. It looks like it should be perfectly fine, and then once I put on that the front piece that covers up the awkward part of the headlight unit, and then that side piece where my actual blinker is, the red piece, I should be all set. I don't see why I should have any issues. So gonna throw on the rest of it now, and we'll pull the bike out, turn the wheel and whatnot, and see if anything's rubbing, which I don't really know how it could, but we'll see. See guys, you don't need an impact gun for everything. You just need one of these. Alright, so now it's dark again, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the lights so you can see exactly what it looks like at night. Get ready. That, my friends, is what you call an incredible upgrade. Jesus Christ. Now, if I could only change that damn parking bulb, but it was like impossible to get in there. But I gotta give nocturnal LEDs, these headlights are awesome. Like you guys saw them before, I can barely see anything with these terrible halogen bulbs. Literally night and day. Pun intended. So I hope you guys enjoyed this install of the Nocturnal Design LED headlights on my 2016 BMW S1000R. The installation is going to be pretty much the same on any motorcycle, excluding maybe the Harleys. Never really worked with those much, so Not really sure how that would go on those, but I would assume it'd be pretty easy install as well. As you can see, I had like no room behind my headlight unit, so you don't need a ton of room to do this. I was worried at first because I saw a lot of guys on the forums saying that it was tough because you don't have any room anywhere to put the ballast. But luckily with the LEDs, the ballasts are really, really small, not big and bulky like the HID ones. So overall, I'm incredibly happy. If you guys have any questions on how to install these, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll try to respond to everyone that I can. Also, if you're wondering why I didn't retrofit my heatsink or dust cover to put behind the low beam bulb, that's because that LED actually has a gasket that once it gets pushed into the hole for the bulb, it actually has a gasket that seals it. So you don't really need to. So it's completely sealed, it's fine. Once you tighten it down, you put those clamps on, it seals it in there, so I'm good. And then the bulb on the high beam side, that actually sinks down and then you twist it in and it seals itself. So I didn't need to do anything, I didn't need to retrofit anything. It was more a challenge just getting everything off because I'd never done it before on this bike, and trying not to break my incredibly expensive motorcycle. But yeah, overall, pretty easy install as long as it's easy to get behind here and get to your headlights. So I gotta say, I'm incredibly impressed. There's only so much that their LEDs can do with my high beam. I still think it's terrible how BMW designed it, but that's neither here nor there. The low beam is incredible, and I am extremely happy with it. So link to get this product, whatever bulb fits your bike or car. Like I said, I have them in my CRV as well, and they're amazing. Link is down in the description to go over to their Amazon site. I highly recommend these guys. They're awesome. Shipping was fast, and they're very easy to work with. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, see you later. Peace.